One.
Hi guys, welcome back to Big Meat Arts. Today we are doing the beadwork, but not the normal one which all of you know, whereby we make the animal lampshades. Today it's a different story. We want to make something which is different. I've got a small challenge from one of the clients, not one of the customers. She said I must make a meerkat. You know, all of you guys know what a meerkat is, right? A meerkat is that funny little animal you find mostly in Africa, in the Sahara region. The one which is funny, it's very, very scared, if not afraid of the eagles, those predators. So today we are going to focus on the meerkat. I don't want to make a big one, I'll make a smaller one. I will use a different type of wire, which is a little bit smaller and thinner. This wire is called 0.7. You can also use 0.6 wire to make something which is about 20 to 25 centimeters big. But on this one, I'm going to make it maybe 25 to 30 centimeters. We only use 0.7 and 0.5 wire. These are the only wires you need on this project. Then, after doing the framework, you then use 0.7. The one which you put your beads in, it is the 0.7. In the sense that it's not too heavy for the frame, for the structure. So now we start. We want to make a meerkat. The one which is standing, the one which is funny. Art, it's all about something which speaks volume, which speaks language, or something which is funny, which makes people ask you, where did you get it? How did you make it? So now this one I'm doing today, it's just one of my imaginations from a meerkat I once saw somewhere in the desert up in Ten. You know, most of the meerkats, they usually stay in the deserts where there are not too much predators, where there are a lot of scorpions, because that's part of their diet as well. Here we go. Start with the tail. On this one, I'm not using any picture. It's just imagination, something which I imagined. A meerkat I once saw, as I've just told you. But it must look nice, smarty, funny, and it must speak to people. Whoever buys the meerkat, when you put it in your office, in your sitting room, anywhere you want to display it, people must ask you, where did you get this? How did you make this? Now I'm showing you how to make a meerkat in beadwork.
Alazi camera shy. I don't know why.
This meerkat is like it's coming from the ground. You know, meerkats live underground. So usually when it comes from the ground, they usually check, especially their most enemy is the eagles. Because meerkats are part of the good diet for an eagle. So usually when they get off the pit where they stay, they usually look for the eagle first. That's the first thing, which is the number one enemy. They have to look for the eagle first before you do any move. When the eagle is around, they usually go back quickly, as fast as possible. Milliseconds, it's back. So now this one is checking on the other side. Is the coast clear? I can say.
You're about to watch me expose the world's most evil people to ever exist. Like the world's most evil parents, teachers, babysitters, and so much more. I spent months researching to find all these people, so make sure to watch to the end because the people doing this video will leave you speechless. And first, we're starting with exposing the world's most evil parents. But first, let me introduce you to Sam. This is the parent's son, and he has some advice for me before I go inside.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you finally. So, what should I honestly be expecting today?
All of you pay attention, follow the rules, never lie, because they're always going to find out.
Even if you check in the beadwork industry, a meerkat kind of a piece is something which is very, very unique because it requires a lot of challenge when making it. So if you are lucky to come across this kind of a piece, which is a meerkat piece out of beads, it's something which is rare. It's not something which is very, very unique in the market, in the beadwork market. Then that means if you are to order one for yourself, you are having a nice, not something special in terms of a souvenir, something which is very, very unique. It's different from the pieces like, elephants, rhinos. I can say the big five. Everyone you see, especially in the markets, they've got the elephant with the trunk up, they've got the giraffes, name it, but those common animals, the hippos. But meerkats, you don't come across a lot of meerkats. Even I can say in real life, sometimes you can even go to the safari, you end up leaving Africa without seeing a meerkat, a real meerkat. But they can show you that in the pictures. So this is something which is a little bit special. When you are to buy this one or to order this one, it also makes you remember about your trip to Africa, not your trip to Cape Town. There we go.
Yeah.
Is this how they really treat Sam? This is like seriously not okay. Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Play on Google.
Ani tushira video yini. Okunani. Angin mulai apa? Dan mana ngafura chini yetu yimba familia.
Ani skura mbuzi, bakanga mbuzi sikifonya mbuzi.
Who's coming out? And you better not screw it up. Thank you. Alright, so give me a clean mic. Anyone on the team of Cyberpunk? If you want to stay here, you're going to need to turn this truck and don't screw it up. Oh, better be stubborn, damn it.
See you guys. I seriously can't believe they're making me do this. Here we go. Here we go. This is such a weird sight. Oh, maybe look at that. Not the kind of a good clean. Okay, guys, I'm really trying to hurry because they are very impatient. If you can already tell. Well, maybe if I finish, then maybe they'll understand. Oh my god. You guys have no idea how long that took. I still seriously can't believe they really do this. Like, why not just take it to a car wash? And since I did all this, I think I deserve to go inside. Let's go. Okay, really quick, I'm gonna slow you down. Okay, wait for it. Then you just swipe down. Oh, okay, so we going? Yeah. Here it comes. How's your massage?
The other thing is when you're making each and every piece, there are some little bit spots whereby if you don't get it right, it won't tell the story or it won't come out nicely. Especially as far as I know about something like a meerkat. There are some certain fatty parts which you must make them funny for real. So that people when they look at it, it makes them laugh. Same applies if you are, let's say, to buy a Pumba like a warthog. It's something which is funny. Even when I am there by the market, by my store, if someone asks me about the Pumba, they start to laugh because it's a very, very funny animal. Whatever it does, it's funny. It's full of mistakes. It's full of speed. Same applies with the meerkats. That's why I said there are some certain features which I must make fun, so that whoever sees the piece will fall in love with the piece automatically. If it makes you laugh the moment you see it, that means it has spoken to you. Whenever maybe you have some bad times, whenever you have some memories, when you look at it, it will tell you stories about where you buy the piece. The memories will stay forever. Here we go. That's a meerkat. It's coming out of the ground where it stays. So like now it's checking. As you can see, it's checking the other way. Is the coast clear? Once the coast is not clear, it's a disaster. Either for him or for the other ones coming. Because usually the eagles, they usually stays by the trees, knows how many pockets to check the meerkats. Once it appears without any careful checkings, that means it's a disaster either for this one or for the other ones coming. So now this is the first stage we have done. It's a meerkat, as you can see. It's checking. It's not checking on the ground. Usually it checks up the Air Force. Because usually the eagles, we call them the Air Force. So it's checking up. It's checking the Air Force side. Is it all coast clear? As you can see now, I can simply tell you that the coast is clear. Then I go to the next stage. The meerkat doesn't require a lot of wires on its framework. It only needs this wire. It's one wire, and the other one I'm going to put now just to reinforce it so that it doesn't default, or there are some certain features which I want to put, like the stomach, that feature for the stomach, for it to look a little bit healthy. That's what I want to do now. That's the only wire which is left for me to tell you that I'm done with the framework. Sometimes if I want to add extra, I'll put another wire here on the face, but sometimes it's not necessary. It depends with the size of the piece. If the piece is too small, no need to put this wire in front. When I start to put the beads, that's when it will get shape on its own. But now, as for this one, I'll as well put that wire so that you know how to do it in your own project when you also want to try to make a meerkat. So let me put this wire now, the one which reinforces the back. Here we go. I'm using the same wire. It's 1.6 millimeter. Is the right size to use on something like this. There we go. I have to put a ridge here where I'm going to lock it so that it comes out with a nice action, not muscles. Because the meerkat doesn't have a lot of muscles, just few muscles, but they must look at least a little bit real. There we go. That's up. As I'll put the shoulders, it's gonna look a little bit like a bodybuilder, something with the shoulders, which shows that this guy is always busy. Usually when it's time to get something to eat, they're always busy. Make sure it's tight today. Come here. Again. for me to come out with a strong frame, something which can speak to me before even I start to put the beads. I must make sure that I tie each and every loose end with this 0.5. But this 0.5, remember, is the one also I use for locking when I'm putting the beads, right? So it's a two-way traffic. I'm making the framework at the same time. I'm getting prepared again to go the next stage, which is plastering now, whereby I put the beads on the frame, which is almost we call it the final stage of the piece. Okay, you go here. Don't do this at home, eh? Don't eat the wire at home. But I'm used to it though. I know a lot of people, they say they don't recommend it. That is, this is very correct. But I'm used to it because I always work with the wire every day, every hour, whenever I'm sitting. I enjoy my time with this, my passion. I'll make it tight, so that doesn't move. Once it moves, it gives you wrong shape of your piece. So I make it a point that I make it so tight, so that doesn't give us any problems when we're working on it. You know, the good part about this framework, making the frames, or what I enjoy most, is I myself am the only person who knows what I'm making. Even my son sitting next to me, he doesn't know unless I tell him what I'm making. Even my wife, she doesn't know what I'm making until I tell her. That's the good part about art. Everything comes from art. But if you are a good artist, if not a wise one, you must have your own imaginations and put it into reality. That is art. Whoever is going to take my imagination far overseas, anywhere in the world, they will tell, there is a story to tell. And that story is coming from you, the man who made the piece, but not the woman. Mind you, this art beadwork is not only for men. Even ladies can do this. But most of the ladies, they don't like this stage of framing. They usually enjoy beading. You can make frame for them. Then, when it comes to beading now, that's when they enjoy more. I don't know why. But this it's not only for men. Even ladies can do it. There are some ladies who can also do the frames, do the plastering. So, here we go. This is, I think, we are almost there. Almost. Let me put this one, look it here. Was this part is the one which tells what kind of a thing you are making. If you make a nice frame, it can only speak on its own. It can only speak volumes once you make it. The moment you start to make it, it can tell whoever sits next to you can say, oh, this is a nice piece. They can start to fall in love with the piece before you even finish. then you know that you're in the right direction. Like now I can ask my son here, how do you see this one? How is it coming?
Coming out nice.
Huh?
It's coming out nice.
Can you do this?
Uh-uh.
Why? I must check your DNA, eh? Hey guys, I must check his DNA because you must know this. As I've told you before, when I'm doing the frame of the meerkat, I've also put in 0.5, the one I used to lock at the same time of the frames. That means it doesn't take time for you to make a piece of this type, especially if you are a little bit experienced. It must not take you time because it's a piece. It doesn't require a lot of wires. It doesn't require a lot of. It's not complicated like other pieces, but it's not easy to make. That makes it the complicated part of it. It's not complicated, but it's not easy to make. Same like you come across a certain mechanic who is fixing cars. He can tell you, this one is easy, but when you give him, sometimes they take you the whole day, 2-3 days fixing the same small problem. But if you go to the right person, it's a matter of cutting macaroni with a hot knife. So here, this is the last wire we put on the framework. Then we are ready to go for the bead part. Must make sure that it's tight, it doesn't move. Yes, we go. Here we go. Yes, please. This is what I'm talking about. Now I'm done with the framework. This is a meerkat. This is a meerkat. You can see for yourself what I'm talking about. This is a meerkat. Now, I want to go to start with the beadwork. I have to first put the beads. I'll show you on the other video. My son is going to he's going to load the beads in the wire. After that, we'll be right back to you. Thank you for watching.